Hello and welcome to another Ninjago Summer 2020 set review. This time, as you can see, we are doing the Sorcerer's Dungeons. This is the biggest of the wave. So obviously it includes 8 minifigures, and there you can see the front of the box with the game experience inside. And there we can see the back of the box with all the features of the set, including how to play the game and how you can expand the game. So now let's start by taking a look at the minifigures. And we're going to be starting off with the Sorcerer here. This is of course not the only set that he comes in. He's also in the Dragon. You can see he does have the bat wings at the back there. Of course he comes with this brand new skull, which does look very nice with the print on there and the green design. And then there you can see all of his torso print and the print on his dress. This piece which is very cool here. With the mask moulded into the hat there. And there you can see his face, which again, like I said last time, does kind of look a bit like Klaus. But then turning this guy around, you can see there is no second face, and there is the back detailing and nothing on the bottom of the dress either. So yeah, that is it for the Sorcerer. Next up here we have got Cole. Of course, this is one of the 3 ways to get him. He does come with his weapon and shield here, which you can put together like so if you want to. And then you can see the shield there with the golden dragon on it, and the weapon is just a hammer. And then there you can see all of his torso and leg detailing. Does look like his season 11 suit with some extra stuff added. And of course he does have all this golden armor here, which looks very nice. And there you can see his face underneath. And taking the armor off, you can see his back detailing, and he does have a second face there. And then there is that with the helmet on. So yeah, that is pretty cool, and definitely one of the better designed ninja from this wave. Next up here we've got Zane, another golden ninja. Of course he does have the shield there with the print on, same as Cole. And he does also come with a crossbow, like so. Of course there you can see, very similar to his season 11 suit, they haven't even changed the legs. But I do think the gold works well with it there, so you can see the torso print. And of course the golden armor all over his body. You can see his face there is the titanium one, and there is no second face. And he has also got the back detailing there with the little blue bit on his strap, which looks very nice. So yeah, that is it for Zane. Definitely much better in person than I was expecting. Next up we've got the final ninja of the set. This is Lloyd. He's got his silver sword from the movie. Also the silver shield with the dragon print on there. You can see his torso print. Really do love this. Definitely a newer design than his season 11 suit there, with all the silver straps and stuff on it. And of course I do think all the silver armor does work well on him. There you can see his face underneath the helmet. And then taking all that off, there you can see his back detailing and his second face. So yeah, again, a very cool minifigure. Next we've got Princess Vania. No idea what her purpose in the show is going to be, but it is a pretty nice minifigure there. She's got the golden hair of course, and there you can see her back detailing and her 2 faces there. Not really much to say about her, but yeah, the design does look pretty nice, and there you can see her face of course. Next we have got Mert here. Of course he is not exclusive to this set, he does come in 2 others, and you can put this armor piece whichever way around you want. He comes with an axe, there's his torso detailing. Of course when you take this off, which you can of course turn around, there you get the other ogre, you get Mo. So yeah, like with the last set I reviewed, this is kind of like a 2-in-1 for the figure wise. So yeah, there you can see Mert and Mo. And then of course, turning this around to the back, you can see all of his back detailing, including the detail on the head. And then of course this armor piece which you can put on whichever way around you would like. I'm putting it this way because I've already got Mert with the other way around, so yeah. Next we've got an Awakened Warrior. We do just get 1 in this set, so overall you get 3 in the whole wave. As you can see, it comes with 2 swords, just a black skullkin. It's got the black helmet there with the black bone, very nice face, no boots on the feet. And then there you can see the back there where there is not much going on. So yeah, that is the Awakened Warrior. And the final figure we've got here is Ginkle. This is the other goblin, and he does come with 2 gunmetal sides there. You can see his torso detailing and the face print, which is the same as the other goblin. And then they can see his second face and no printing on the short back of the legs. So yeah, there we have got Ginkle. And then just before we get onto the set itself, here we've got these 3 little accessories. You've seen these all before, of course, they are in the other board game sets. These are just the little stands to put your characters on. You've got the hearts there you can put down when you die. This one does come with a black bow inside. so I'm assuming that you can kind of use that as a weapon that you've collected along the game. But yeah, you get 2 of those, and then of course you get the dice here, which you can put a figure inside like so, and then you just spin that, and whatever it lands on dictates what happens in the game. So yeah, not too much going on there. Now let's get on to the set itself. And here we have got the actual dungeon itself, which, as you can see, it is a big skull on the mountain there, which does look very nice. We'll get to that later. And you can see here at the front we've got this little walkway, and we've got the 2 skeleton heads with the flames kind of pointing the way, which is pretty nice. And there are lots of stickers around the walkway for bits for the board game, which we'll see later. Got this little walkway back here, which this one can be disconnected entirely, and that is so you can attach the Journey to the Skull Dungeon set to the dungeon. So you just move this out of the way and push it round, and then the dungeon would attach right there. So yeah, that's a pretty nice bit of walkway, and obviously, as you can see, it has got that spider on it, and there are the bones kind of leading the way, and it does turn like so. And you can see one of those stickers for the board game, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that just attaches there on those little clips. You're going to see a lot of those clips around. As you can see, there is some there as well. Got this little sign here, not sure what that says, but it is in the Ninjago language. Back over there you can see we've got this fish on a campfire, which is pretty cool. So yeah, one of the orcs or goblins can be cooking that while there is a battle going on. Got another spider down here under the kind of big walkway up to the top of the mountain there, which is pretty cool. And there is a bone going across it, and then you can see the ladder, which you can pull on this torch piece to kind of bring the ladder up like so. It is connected on a chain, so yeah, and then you can see it does form a big gap between the pillar over here and this little walkway. So yeah, you can pull the ladder up, and you can also bring it down like so, so that you can actually get over there. So yeah, you can see that. You can see some of the details around that little pillar there, and there is that thing at the top that you can spin around, and that does have quite a few features that all go on at once. You can see the first one over here, so when you spin it, it does spin those knives around, which is pretty cool. They go in either direction, and there is a little walkway up here with some stickers. I'll show you all of this later on when we do kind of a pan around the whole thing. We're just doing a quick overview for the now. And then you can see we've got the main skull head of the dungeon, and underneath it you can see we've got that big wall of lava. And what you can do with this is you simply push on this little bit of the floor here, and then that opens the whole thing up. But you can see we've got one of these swords inside there, and then you can just pull on those to close it up again. So that is pretty cool. And there's a lot of rock pieces around this, making up the details like so. And again, there's the skull head. You can see the inside of that like so. And then up there you've got those 2 pillars and the black sword inside. And then there is another feature with this where you can just lift on this piece here, and that just makes those 2 drop down, and it opens up the sword that you can pull out. And of course they both do have the skull head moulded onto them, which is pretty cool. And then you can just push that down again to close it up. Then over here you can see we've got another little walkway that goes up to this little balcony. There is a lot of weapons in there. You can see one of these hearts for the board game, which we'll get to. And then there you can see we have got this cage here, which is pretty cool. Then you can open that up and just put someone inside, and it does just attach on that string there. And then that is another feature with that over there, is that as you spin that, you can either raise or lower the cage like so, and then you can pull it back up like so as well. And one last thing with that, as you do that, is that over here on the walkway, you might be able to see it as I do that. You can see some of the ground does come up and down like so, so it's a very wobbly path there, and we'll see that later on when we get to the kind of overview of the whole thing. And now spinning this around, you get to the back of the dungeon. You can see the inside here with that sword piece, and you can see we've got some of the mechanism for the winch there on the cable, and then we've got just a white spear. We've got some gold inside there, and there is a little gold nugget inside there that I think you might be able to see. It is just down here. It's pretty difficult. Down here we've got a little cage for some reason, not sure what that's all about, but it does just hide one of the mechanisms. And yeah, and then as we go up, you can see inside there we've got some armor, and we've got a portrait of the Skull Sorcerer. There's this little guitar here, and yeah, we've just got some potions and stuff that he can use, and then that does come out onto this walkway here. And then yeah, you can see the back of this other section here, which is just pretty empty. There is an axe in there, as you can see, but nothing too major. So yeah, now that that overview is done, now we are going to get to a better look so you can see more of the dungeon. And actually there is inside here a little green crystal that you can see. I just spotted that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, now let's get on to the overview. So we're going to start down here at the walkway, which, as you can see, there's a lot of those plates there that kind of build this up. You can see a lot of those stickers with all the green arrows on for the board game, and some skulls as well. You can see, you're going to see a lot of those hearts around as we go around this thing. Those are just kind of things that you can pick up for the board game, I believe. And you can see as we go all the way up here, just they've built up this walkway really nicely with all the rocks. There's another one of those skulls. We go up the ladder to this part here, and then of course you've got the little walkway over there, and another one of those hearts. You see they've kind of used those pieces there to make a kind of ladder to get up to this top bit here, so that's a nice detail, because otherwise there would be no way of getting up there. And then again you can see the sword there, and then that skull piece is where you can stand the Skull Sorcerer. And of course that really nice skull head there, I'm a big fan of how they've made that. And coming down we can see the walkway here with all the skulls, and then as I showed earlier where you spin the little bit to lower the cage, you can see those bits of the walkway do move up and down, so it's going to be quite hard for the ninja to get over here, so that is pretty cool. They can get stuck sometimes, but it does work most of the time like so. And then we can see the little path up to the weapons rack, and another one of those skulls and the heart. So yeah, and then of course the spider there, and the little campfire with the fish, and obviously there is a lot of orange plates on this as well. And of course turning this back around, there we can see the golden nugget that was down there that I was trying to show earlier. And in there is a little brown piece. I'm not sure if you can see that. Hey, now you can see that. So yeah. And of course the little bits of flame that do open, and the other sword there, and then opening this from the back, as you can see, you just push that through and it does open up. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then of course coming up here, got more of the details in there, and yeah, up here again with the little bit that does open up, which of course I showed that earlier. There's just a look of that from the back. So as you see, they do just drop down and reveal the sword there. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this set. A very good set, but now let's get on to looking at the board game that is included, and then the rating. And here is the little board game thing that you get. So you can see there's one of the panels there, and you can fold this whole thing out, and it is double-sided. And you can see on one side there's the expand the game advertisement, and on the other here we've got the kind of rules on how you play the game, like so. And on the back here we have got the actual game, the game board. You can see all the places where you can put the 4 different bits of the sets. So you can see that top corner there is where you put the actual main dungeon set, and this is where you put the Journey to the Dungeons, I believe, and then the Skull Dragon and the Minor Creature. So yeah, that is it for the board game. Now we can go on to the ratings. for the set. Now on to the ratings for the set. I'm not going to bother showing the instructions because there are no advertisements in there. All the advertisements are on the board game piece that I just showed you. So yeah, overall onto the ratings for this set. I definitely would recommend this set. It's definitely the best of the new wave, and yeah, obviously you do get a great build. It's nice that we've got a kind of different kind of temple structure than we're used to with this dungeon here. I do like all of the features, and of course as a board game itself it does work really well. And obviously you saw all the clips around the place to attach things. I didn't point all of them out, but there are some over here as well. There's another one there. So obviously you can arrange this in all sorts of different ways with the other sets as well. So that is a nice feature, of course. Like with the Journey to the Skull dungeons that you can put over here. So yeah, honestly, this is definitely a great centerpiece for the new wave, and it's great that you can add things onto it as well. I do like that feature that they have done. So yeah, overall I would definitely recommend this set, and that is all I've got to say. So I will see you again very soon.